So since this is the first unit, I'm going to walk you through some of the key features of your book, which are saved as PDFs for each of the units in the different sections of our online course. You have your course in unit number up top, and then the title of that unit, which for here would be ratios. One of the most important things I want you to pay attention to is the what you'll learn. In this one, we're going to learn to write ratios to compare real-world quantities. And then it also has vocabulary like ratio and equivalent ratios. And you'll normally see those vocabulary words highlighted. So to start off here, it says that a ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division, and the ratio can be written in three different ways. It can be written with the word to. It can be written with a symbol, that's a colon, and it can be written as a fraction. One of the key things that I want you to realize is that since the party mix is listed first, and the 6 is associated with the party mix, the 6 always comes first in every single ratio. You can't mix them up. Then they have examples. This one will be an example of the 3 different ways to write a ratio. They give you the question. This recipe calls for 4 cups of cereal, 2 cups of pretzels, and then they show you how to do it using the word to, using a symbol, which would be a colon, and as a fraction. Another important thing to remember is that even if it is an improper fraction, you do not want to make it into a mixed number. Ratios stay as an improper fraction. Then it'll give you a quick check problem, which is just going over the example they just did. So write each ratio in 3 different ways. If it's asking you for pretzels to cereal, pretzels is 2 cups of pretzels, cereal is 4, so it would be 2 to 4, 2 colon 4, or 2 over 4. As we keep going down, they have ratios. If they have the same number or they show the same number, they're called equivalent ratios. I think it's easier to think of equivalent ratios like equivalent fractions, like 1/2 and 5/10 are the same number. They show the same number, so they are equivalent. Same with ratios. If you have 1 to 2 or 5 to 10, they're equivalent ratios because they show the same number. If it asks you to write 2 different ratios that are equivalent, you can do whatever you want. You can multiply them. So if I wanted to do times 2 for each of these, I could. So 10 times 2 and 35 times 2 would just give me 20 over 70, and that would be an equivalent ratio. Forgive my handwriting. Anyways, if we keep going down, they have another example, which is writing a ratio in simplest form, and that's just where you would divide it. Again, it's kind of like simplifying a fraction, and then it does also have the quick checks down at the bottom. At the end of each unit, you're going to have a check your understanding. Sometimes I refer to it as the CYU, and then you have homework exercises. The homework exercises are generally the problems that you're going to have to do for your discussion board. And that concludes our lesson on the book units. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them into the discussion page on whichever section you need help with.